Recently, I have been posting land properties with CFO in the city of Enugu State. And today, I decided to explain this CFO properly for you to understand the benefits of investing in the land that already has CFO. That is, what you stand to gain if your land property has CFO. Ensure to watch the video till the end because it's going to be an interesting one. Ever since the Land Use Act of 1978 was introduced, CFO has been a vital document that every landlord must possess. Now, what is CFO? CFO simply means Certificate of Occupancy. It is basically a land title document that is issued by the government to landowners. It serves primarily as a legal proof of land ownership in Nigeria. Having said that, who issues the Certificate of Occupancy? How long does it last? How do you keep it valid? Let's look at it. The legislation has given the state governors the power and rights to issue Certificate of Occupancy to landowners. You can imagine when the state governor issues a land title to you. You know what that means, right? We shall come to that. So now, how long does it last? CFO lasts for 99 years. But then, you must be faithful to the payment of the fee called annual ground rent. This fee is paid on annual basis to ensure that your CFO is valid and current. So it helps to maintain and retain the title. Before the end of this video, you shall find out why you must be faithful to payment of these fees. Now let's take a look at the things that are meant to be contained in the CFO. How do you know the original CFO? What are the contents? Let's look at it. You have the Certificate of Occupancy number, you have the plot number, you have the plot size, you have the survey plan, you have the location of the property, land use papers, the lease terms, the initial annual ground rent, and then you have the terms and conditions. And most importantly, behind your Certificate of Occupancy ought to be the survey plan of your property. Yes, there ought to be survey plan of your property behind the certificate. At the front is where you have all these I listed, while behind it, you ought to have the survey plan of your property. So this is how you will know the original Certificate of Occupancy. For instance, if someone tells you that the property he or she is marketing has CFO and you requested for the CFO, if what he or she sent to you does not have the survey plan behind it, then I suggest and advise strongly that you question the document that was sent to you. If you are observant, you would notice that recently I've been showing you properties with CFO in the city of Enugu State. Well, that is because of the new regulation concerning Certificate of Occupancy in the state. The new regulation has made it almost impossible for one to possess CFO for his or her property in the state because it has become very expensive. You are talking about having 3 to 7 million naira just to have a Certificate of Occupancy for your property. It's so discouraging. But then I have been trying my best to ensure that I get you those properties that already have Certificate of Occupancy. We have the cheap ones, we have the high ones, we have the very high ones. So you know the one that you can afford, and I strongly advise you key into this. At the end of this video, you're going to find out the benefit of having CFO in your property. That will make you to have a change of heart if you have been delaying in keying into buying a property with C of O. Now, before we proceed to the next step, which is the benefit of having C of O, I would like to share a little story with you for you to understand the need of having C of O for your land property. This thing happened here in Enugu State. I am going to withhold the name for the sake of security. The person in question is my client. We were talking one day and I presented to him one of properties with C of O. I actually presented to him Crystal Garden Phase 3. You know Crystal Garden Phase 3 has C of O, right? So I was telling him about Crystal Garden Phase 3 and the benefits of buying this property, having C of O and having a stable land and all of that. He laughed and was like, he completely understands the need of buying a property that has C of O or processing your C of O when you buy a property. He backed it up with this story I'm about to share with you. So, according to him, he had 2 plots of land here in Enugu State, somewhere in Independence Layout specifically, and then he had C of O for these 2 properties. But something happened. There was the need for the government to make use of the environment for overriding public interest, so the land was actually confiscated from him. But then he was compensated. That is the key word, being compensated. So the one he had was in Independence Layout, 2 plots. He had C of O for them. But then he was compensated with 6 plots somewhere in Iyiaguestate. He felt so bad because as at then, Iyiaguestate was a fetal bush. We are talking about 15 years ago here. So he felt so bad, he felt he has been cheated and all of that, but he was consoled by the fact that he was at least compensated. So then, apart from giving him 6 plots of land, C of O was also done for these 6 plots of land. He had no choice than to accept it. Today, the cheapest plot of land in Iyiaguestate, the ones close to the roadside, is 12 million naira. And he was compensated with 6 good plots. So you can imagine. And his own is part of those along the road. So he is now enjoying. So the key word there is being compensated. And that brings us to benefit of having C of O. So one of those benefits is you will definitely be compensated should the government have the need for your land for overriding public interest. You will be definitely 100% guaranteed. You will be definitely compensated, but ensure to be paying your annual ground rent, please. It's very important. And if you happen to buy from a company that already has C of O, that makes it a lot easier for you. You know why? You have no annual ground rent to pay to anybody. The company pays for it. That is the top secret, because the C of O the company has for the estate is global C of O. So it's not an individual C of O, it's not an individual headache for you to start paying any rent to anybody now. The company pays for all that. So yours is to pay for your land property, pay for your documents and rest. Yes. So now the second benefit of having C of O is legal compliance. C of O ensures that the property complies with all local building codes and regulations, and this helps the property owners to avoid any legal issues and potential fines, because for the government to issue this certificate to you, it means that they have checked where your property is located and they are sure that the place is free from government interest. But then if there's any need, like I said earlier, for the government to make use of the place, you are going to be compensated. The third benefit is increment in the property value. Having C of O for a property helps to increase the resale value of this property. So it gives peace of mind regarding compliance and safety. If you have a plot of land with C of O, you can easily use it to collect loan from the bank, because the bank see property with C of O as being free from government interest, and they see C of O as the most vital legal document for your land property. Another benefit is for insurance. Most insurance companies often offer lower premium for properties with C of O. That is because they see these properties as having lower risk, given that it complies with legal standards. In summary, if you are buying any land property in Enugu State, in Nigeria as a whole, try as much as possible to buy the one with C of O. And if you have bought before, try your best to process that C of O for your property. Better still, buy from a trusted real estate company. Buy the one that already has C of O. There are cheap ones. There are the ones of 5 million naira. We have ones of 4 million naira. We have ones of 4.5 million naira. We have the ones for 6 million naira. We have the ones for 12 million, for 30 million. Buy the one that you can afford. It is better to spend money buying something that can give you peace of mind than buying cheap property that you are not certain of its safety. But then, even if the one you're buying does not have C of O, ensure to buy it from a trusted real estate company, such that the immunity of this company covers you whenever there is any need for the government to use the place for overriding public interest. The company gives you another land somewhere. So it's now between the government and the company, and not between you and the government. That is one of the benefits of buying from a trusted real estate company. You understand what I'm trying to say? That is, even if the one you want to buy, if you don't have enough money to buy the one that has C of O, that one you have the money for, ensure to buy it from a trusted real estate company. You are still going to be covered. You know why? Even if there is need for the government to use that estate or the environment or the place for overriding public interest, it is not your headache alone. It is the headache of the real estate firm to protect you. The real estate firm will then provide for you elsewhere, another property, another land somewhere else. But if it is just your land there and it does not have C of O, that is where you have bigger challenge. I hope I'm able to open your eyes to the benefit of having C of O property in the city of Enugu State, in Nigeria generally. I hope you gained something from this video. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do that. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that each time or anytime I drop my videos, you get to know about it and you watch them. Call or WhatsApp me anytime for more information about real estate investment in Nigeria, in Enugu State. Call or WhatsApp me on 0803 743 5005. I am your real estate consultant here in the Southeast Enugu, Nigeria. Loveth Aneke. Until I come your way again. Bye for now.